Hello, American Crochet Association. Selena Baca here, founder, host, lead educator with the ACA. It's Monday. I love to mingle on Mondays. So that way you guys can see everything that's new, hip, and happening at the ACA and so that you don't miss a thing. If you are watching live, come on over, say hey, say hello, tell me where you're viewing from. Feel free to ask any questions about anything that I'm talking about here today or anything about the American Crochet Association. As soon as I see them, I will get to them. If it's here on the live, I'm going to pause at the end of my rundown, my weekly rundown, and we'll have a great conversation. And if you're watching on the replay, just watch and play along like you're here on the live. I promise I will still see your questions and it'll still be a great time. I think I'm going to spice it up a little bit this week for everybody who is here watching again live or on the replay. I'm going to have a little giveaway. So all you have to do to enter for a chance to win, I'll tell you what the prize is in just a second, is leave a comment, okay? All of your comments count as an entry, and I'm going to randomly pick 4 of you guys to win our Artisan Afghan Crochet Challenge blanket pattern. I'm going to leave a link, and that way you guys can go and check it out afterwards, but it's definitely something that you guys can find at the American Crochet Association. It's a great Afghan pattern. Again, 4 of you guys are going to win that, okay? So just drop comments. I'm going to randomly pick 4 of you guys this time next week. I'm going to reply to your comments with instructions that claim, okay? All right, guys, so I've got a long list of things to share with you this week, so I'm going to jump right on into it. The first thing that I wanted to chat about is what's new, hip, and happening in our community. The community is on Facebook. It's free to join. And what I love about the Facebook community is that anyone can come on over and participate. So it's free, it's quick, it's easy to join. Most of us are there already being social. So this is just one more place where you can be social in the crochet world. But we have a lot to give too. So the things that I don't want you guys to miss are going to be posted in the featured section. So I've got polls, I've got questions, but there's actually 2 patterns. There's stitch patterns and you make a washcloth that I need pattern testers for. So these are ones that I just posted over the weekend. And the more testers, the better. So this is a quick, fun, easy pattern. Each one of them teaches you a new stitch variation. So it's a lot of fun. And again, if you read through that pattern testing call and you're like, yep, I want in on that action, all you got to do is follow the instructions to be considered. These patterns are written and they do come with charts. So you can be any skill level and you can participate if you meet all these testing requirements. So again, I've got 2 little stitch patterns. They were so much fun to make. And I really love teaching stitch patterns by making something like a washcloth. It's a lot of fun. So if you guys dig it, come on over to the community and read through those. Again, they are going to be in the featured section there. Okay, guys, so what is next? The next thing that I want to show you guys are for our crochet members. So if you're part of the crochet membership, definitely log in because I've got new things every week this month in the month of January as your January bonus, okay? So I've got all of the links for everything that I'm talking about in the video description, so you guys can always check on those afterwards, okay? And if you're not part of the crochet membership, you guys can just click on the links that I'm sharing and it's really quick and easy to join. So to find your crochet membership goodies and bonuses and all that, all you have to do is log into the American Crochet Association. Just click on over there. It's really easy to log in. Once you are logged in, as you can see here, I've got my little profile picture up there. I've got a community link and then I've got my products. When you click on my products, you'll see everything that you have access to in the crochet membership. Might be one of them. If it is, click on that. Now, once you're into your crochet membership, you can see your January stitch challenge and giveaway. Week 3 is up, okay? I'm leaving up weeks 1 and weeks 2 because there are free patterns there that you guys can snag for the rest of the month, and there are challenges that you guys can participate in. So don't miss out on those, okay? So week 3, the stitch challenge is actually one of my favorite stitches. My internet is so slow today. So there are pictures, but my internet is just trudging along today. So it's going to take a second. So the stitch this week is the Sedge Stitch. And it's actually one of my favorite stitch textures because it's super simplistic. It's a reversible stitch, and it is super simple to make. It's one of those set and forget stitches to where, you know, you work the first row, then you work the second row, and then you're like, I don't even need the pattern anymore. But it creates so much fantastic texture. Oh my goodness, internet. There we go. Okay. So you can see the Sedge Stitch right here. It's this yellow swatch. It's kind of poking through. If you're watching from a smartphone or something like that, you can be like, yeah, I can kind of see the texture. So really, if you're watching from a desktop or maybe something a little larger, you can really see that stitch texture here. Again, once you log into the Crochet Membership, you guys can snag a free pattern. It's quick and easy for you guys to do that. And the giveaway this week, you guys log in to get all the entry details. But the giveaway this week is going to 4 different winners in our Crochet Membership. So you've got a really good chance of, you know, of winning if you do enter. You guys will win 30 crochet stitch patterns. 30 crochet stitch patterns. At the American Crochet Association, we have tons of stitches that we teach, and we have tons of patterns for each one of those stitches. So that way, not only are you learning new stitches, but you're actually applying them. So that way you learn how to work them in rows and how to work them in the round with super small, simple projects that you can use in your life or you can gift. So awesome. So definitely click on over and get the Sedge Stitch today. Again, one of my favorite stitch textures. So much fun, quick and easy, and it really is a beautiful result. So this was just posted. We already have some entries. Check that out because it's so quick and easy to make. So definitely log in and check that out so you guys don't miss it. If you are not part of the Crochet Membership, you guys can always come on over and join. You'll get new challenges like this every single month, new bonuses. And if the Crochet Membership is just not in your agenda at this time, you guys can find a video tutorial to make the Sedge Stitch in the video description, okay? You guys can find the Sedge Stitch and a link to go check that out in the video description. Okay, so one more thing I want to show you, Crochet Members, everybody part of the Crochet Membership. This is something new that I shared with you last week. So if you just didn't watch Mingle Monday last week, or if you glazed over it, when you log in, take a minute to check out this new resource. Can you guys, oh, my face is kind of blocking some of this. There we go. All right, there's a resource section up here, okay? So what I want you to do is make sure that you take a peek at the new Refer a Friend program, okay? This is something brand new. I just implemented it last week. But if you're part of the Crochet Membership and you dig it and you think it makes a difference in your life, if you love the bonuses that we give you every month, like the stitch challenges that I just showed you, and if you love the learning path and getting all of those courses and all of that material, if you already love it and you're thinking, I'm going to tell my crochet friends, or maybe you're already telling your crochet friends, definitely click here to learn more. Because not only will you get a discount, but everyone who clicks on your link will get a discount. So it's a great little affiliate program. It should be super quick and simple and easy. And again, you win and your friends win. So definitely click on over there. Let me know what you think after you do. Okay? All right, guys. So next thing that I want to share with you is an article that I republished this past week. It's actually an article that I wrote a couple years ago, but we had an old blog and now we have a new blog. So there's a lot of old things that I've said in the past that are coming on over to the new blog. It's kind of like the American Crochet Association used to rent the garage, you know, in your mom's backyard. You know, that's where we were. And now the American Crochet Association is, you know, now we have our own apartment and we're on our own. So that's kind of that's what I mean when I say we had an old blog and now we got a new blog. That's kind of the analogy that I want you to take from this. We're not in your mom's garage anymore. Yay! So anyway, this is an old topic that I've definitely talked about in the past. And if you've been with the American Crochet Association since 2015, you might have seen me talk about this in the past, but it is a new article that I've just posted on our new blog. And that is Learn How to Crochet Any Stitch. Plus I have resources to over 30 classic and unique crochet stitches that you guys can try right away. Now, what I love about this article is that I wrote this because so often in any crochet community, people are like, I want to learn all the crochet stitches. How many crochet stitches are there? What are beginner crochet stitches? I want to learn all of the stitches. How do I do that? Where do I find this information? And we have this concept Boy, that was hard for me. We have this concept that maybe there's a list of like, here's stitch 1 that you learned, then stitch 2, then stitch 3. And what are all of the stitches in order in terms of complexity? I just want to learn all of them. And I want to say that that's kind of true, that it starts out that way in the crochet world, in that there are some stitches that you should learn in order if you're a beginner, right? And so this article kind of talks about that a little bit, and it gives you those resources that, yep, there definitely is a stepping stone. There are building blocks, and those building blocks are chain, single, half double, and double crochet. And in fact, when you learn those stitches, and I go into great depth to talk about what it means to really learn those stitches, like identify the basic anatomy of each stitch, the individuality of that stitch among the other stitches, how to count individual stitches, how to count individual rows, counting individual rounds, identifying the right side or wrong side of a stitch, identifying the right or wrong side of crochet fabric, and knowing where to place stitches. All of those things are what it means to learn the chain, the single, half double, and the double, right? So when you get that, and when you understand that, and when you were like, I have got that down blindfolded, well, not blindfolded, but if you can crochet blindfolded, I'd love to see that. Let's get in touch. Let's do lunch. But anyway, when you really learn all of these stitches, you have the building blocks, you have the foundation to learn how to crochet any stitch. And the reason I start this, learn how to crochet any stitch, here's the foundation. The reason I start that is because we, and I'm saying me, and I think it extends to almost everyone in the crochet world, we feel that, well, I've learned those basics, but how do I learn these other stitches? Really, there's a secret to that. And when you understand that secret, then you will no longer be afraid to try and learn any crochet stitch. And that secret is that any crochet stitch, any stitch fabric, is just a combination or a variation of those basics that I told you about. So it doesn't matter what it is. It can be a pineapple lace wedding gown. It can be filet crochet. It can be cables. It can be literally any kind of crochet stitch fabric. Every single one of those is, again, a combination or a variation of those basic stitches that I talked about. So if you're making a shell stitch, for example, you may go, well, I want to learn how to make the shell stitch. Like, how do you make that shell stitch? Now, there's lots of different ways you can make that shell stitch. There's not just one type of shell stitch. There's no one definition of shell stitch. So if we back that up just a little bit and we go with maybe something that's a little more classic, maybe just 5 double crochet stitches worked into one space, and then you skip 2 stitches on either side, and then it's anchored by a single crochet on either side, that's a shell stitch. So can you work the single crochet? Yeah. Can you work the double crochet? Yeah. Do you know where to place stitches, what it means to skip a stitch, what it means to work a stitch or a group of stitches into a space? And do you know what it means to count stitches, even if they're all different across a row, to make sure that your stitch count matches the pattern? If you can do all of that, then you can learn the shell stitch. And again, that's just one little example and representation. Anyway, I could talk about this all day long, but I'm super excited about this article because, again, it's something that I've been talking about for a couple years now at the American Crochet Association. It's definitely not a new topic, but I have revamped it, and there's tons of resources here. So it doesn't matter if you just started crocheting recently and you're like, I just learned, this is a great article for you. It doesn't matter if you've crocheted 100 years. This is a great article for you, okay? So I would love it if you guys would check it out and let me know what you think. Again, there's tons of resources here. So I've got video tutorials on all of the stitches that I'm talking about. And again, there are video resources for you guys to watch over 30 other stitches today, right now. Give those a try and have fun learning new stitches. So anyway, I hope that this is a great topic that helps you unlock the mystery of what crochet stitches are and how you can work them. So I can't wait to hear what you think. All right, guys, up next, the next new thing that I have for you is a new crochet pattern that I'm really excited to share. It is the Chevron tube scarf. It is a quick pattern, it's an easy pattern, and I included a chart. So not only is there a picture, there's written instructions, there's a chart for you guys, okay? So hopefully between all of those things, it'll be a quick and simple and easy project for you. You guys might remember this project from a few weeks ago. I actually showed it to you. It was here on my desk, and this was the first pattern that I brought to our American Crochet Association community on Facebook and asked for pattern testers. I had tons of amazing pattern testers, and they had so much fun with this project. They helped me to make sure that it was shiny and fantastic and, you know, everything made sense and all of that kind of stuff. So it is up. It is ready for you guys to view it. You guys can view this pattern for free on our site anytime. Or you guys can find a PDF version of the pattern that you guys can purchase. And that way it's just yours. It's yours to keep. And you guys, you know, don't have to keep coming to our site. You guys can make it anytime, save it in your little pattern library if you'd like. So what I love about this scarf, the thing that I'll say quickly about this, because you guys can read more when you click on the link, is that this scarf is made in a tube. And even some of our pattern testers, like even though it's called the Chevron tube scarf, it's not a typical design that you'll see for something like a scarf. And so many people were like, what are you talking about, my friend? Because typically when we think scarf, we think it's worked in rows, right? So maybe it's worked in long rows, like maybe chain 900 and then you kind of make, you know, a few rows from there, or maybe you chain like 37 and then you just, you know, go for 6 miles, right? So that's typically what we think about when we think scarves, but this is a concept that I started working on a couple years ago. I was making a scarf for another project. And I thought, I want this scarf to be really big and chunky, but I'm not going to use chunky yarn. And I don't want to make a scarf that has to be folded up and then kind of wrapped around, right? So I thought, okay, well, what if I make this in a tube? Because then essentially like it's a piece of fabric that's folded onto itself, but it's a circle. And that way it never comes undone because it's that circle. So it's essentially like a doubled up piece of fabric, right? So that's what I really loved about this. You know, it helps your fabric to, you know, it's always going to be reversible because, you know, well, you know, you've got the inside, the wrong side of the stitch in the fabric, and then the outside, which is the tube, right? But there's, you know, as long as the tube is on the wrong, or the outside, you're never going to see the wrong side, which is on the inside. So you get that doubled up feel, you get that doubled up look. But it doesn't come undone because it's that tube, right? So it was a lot of fun to make. This is a great classic chevron pattern that's, you know, super, super fun to make. It's another one of those patterns where you work the, you know, you chain, you work the first round, and then by the, you know, second or third round, you're like, I don't even need the pattern anymore. This is fantastic. You guys really can play around with different yarns, different yarn weights, different yarn types, and color, because again, that's this chevron stitch. It works fantastic with so many of those. And because it's worked in the tube and it's worked in this really small round, you can quickly and easily see if the yarn that you choose for this, if it's something that you really like. So maybe it's too big, or maybe it's too small, or maybe you don't really like the way the colors are working up with this stitch. You guys can immediately see what you think. Woo! All right, everybody, that's all I have for you guys today. Man, I really yammered on a lot, but that's it. So the chevron tube scarf, again, you guys can find all of the links down below in the video description, okay? So definitely check out that free pattern. Learn to crochet any stitch, plus over 30 classic and unique stitches you can try today with video tutorials. Definitely check out that resource. If you're in the crochet membership, don't forget, or please do, check out that Refer a Friend program, and definitely check out the Sedge Stitch because it is the new weekly stitch challenge, and there's a new prize for that as well, new giveaway. And if you are part of the American Crochet Association community on Facebook, definitely check out the featured post because there's lots of goodies in there, including a pattern testing opportunity or two. Again, links for all of these are below. And now I just wanted to remind everyone here that all of the comments, whether you're here live or on the replay for the entire week until this time next week, count as an entry for the giveaway that I have. And the giveaway is the Artisan Afghan blanket pattern. Here, let me try and let me get there. Hold on. Come on now. Come on. Sorry, when I'm logged in as an admin, sometimes I see things differently than you guys do. So let's find this together. So I'm going to pick 4 of you guys to win from the comments. I'm going to find the winners in the comments and reply with your instructions to claim. So you guys will get this pattern. It's the Artisan Afghan Crochet Challenge. It is 10 different stitch patterns with you know, a fancy join for each one of them and a fancy border. It's so much fun. And 4 of you guys are going to win it. Okay, so there it is right there. All right, I didn't put that in the video description. I will update it with this link. All right, guys. Okay, and now I'm going to pause and see who's here and say hey to everybody. The floor is open for questions either right now or on the replay. Just go ahead and post them as soon as you see them. Hello, Shelly. So good to see you here. Good morning. Chris Lopez, always so good to see you here. Thank you so much for making it here live. Your face always puts a smile on my face. Seeing your face puts a smile on my face. So good to see you here. Ola Joe is here. The Crocheting Sailor. Hello from Virginia. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, that is the cutest little profile ever. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. That is so adorable. I'm so glad that I put that up because I couldn't see it before. It was so small on my screen. So that just makes me so happy. Oh, Shelly says, ooh, the spicy live. Is it spicy? Well, I guess crochet can be spicy, right? Hopefully I'm making it spicy and you guys are enjoying this. Hopefully. Shelly is chiming in from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Hope you have some fantastic weather out there. Ola Joe is here and saying hey to everybody. I'm so glad you're being social here. It's fun when these live chats are like a social little community over here. I love it. Shelly's glad to catch the live, loves the community page. Chris is here saying hey to her friends. Oh, you can see it. It is a pretty stitch. Maybe that was the Sedge Stitch that I no longer have up anymore. But anyway, I'm glad that you dig it. Let's see. Good morning to you, Proverbs 31 Yarn. Love that tattoo that you have here. It looks like a beautiful heart. I love that so much. All right, Candace is here. Good afternoon to you, Candace. Proverbs is here saying hey to everybody. I'm so glad you guys are friends. I love it so much. Jennifer Peters is here. Good morning. Finally made it. Virtual hugs to everyone. Jennifer is working on the basket weave tote. I am so glad that was the bonus pattern last week for Crochet Members. And Crochet Members can get that free for the rest of the month when they log in. So Jennifer, as soon as you're finished with that, definitely share some pictures. I can't wait to see it. Proverbs. I make a lot of my scarves in a tube when I knit them. Yeah, I was seeing that a lot in the knit community, but I did not see that a lot in the crochet community. And that's what prompted me to kind of have fun with that construction. And so the Chevron tube scarf was just kind of, you know, the outcome of that. So I hope you guys dig it. Proverbs. Wow, good luck to everyone. Chris says that the giveaway sounds interesting. Jennifer likes the Afghan pattern. Yeah, this was so much fun to make. Again, this is the giveaway. So what I love about this pattern, I'll just tell you guys quickly, is that the Afghan is made in different strips, and they are made in strips by length. So you chain so many. And then every single strip is a completely different stitch pattern, but it starts and ends with just a solid row of double crochet. And that way they all, even though they're all different stitch patterns, they transition well together. So I also designed this with that solid row of double crochet starting and ending, because each one of these strips, after you make them, you crochet them all together. So just that solid border just makes it so easy to see where those stitches go and how to crochet it together. So you're learning stitches, you can use scrap yarn, you can use lots of different yarns, you can use the same yarn if you want. And what I love about this Afghan is that, yeah, it makes a giant throw Afghan, but because you're making it in those long strips, it's completely portable. So you work on one strip, you put it off to the side, you're done, you're finished with that. You make 10 of these different stitch patterns, and then you seam them all together. So it's not the same thing. Every single strip is different. If you don't like a strip, you can skip it and make 2 of another one. Heck, you can make all the strips the same stitch. There's a lot of versatility in this, and there's a lot of creativity. There's a lot of skill building. And again, each one of those pieces is made separately, and that way you're not bored. You can take it with you as you go. And then you're just putting it together at the end. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, I promise. Wiggle butt crochet. Do you have a corgi? I feel like that's a corgi thing. And I'm saying that because I have a corgi, and you know, if you know, you know, right? Oh, I'm so glad you like the Afghan. My pleasure. Proverbs. Haley is here. That pattern is absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad that you like it. Chris Lopez says crochet friends are everywhere. Amy McKeever rescued me in another group that I'm in by having yarn that I needed. Amy McKeever is the best. I just treasure Amy McKeever, and you're absolutely right. Chris Lopez, crocheters like you, crocheters like Amy McKeever, you guys are what make the crochet places on the internet feel like community. So that's a heartwarming little story. I love that so much. Haley's here from North Carolina. Currently about 8 to 9 inches of snow in North Carolina. Oh my gosh. I'm here in Oregon. Typically we have snow, but this is kind of a warm winter that we're having. So we did have a little bit of snow, but now there's no snow, which I'm not very sad about, to tell you the truth. Wiggle butt crochet. That would be great to use. Minis. Oh, that took me a minute. So yeah, if you have mini skeins of yarn, possibly, although I did use a super fancy luxury yarn to make this from hedgehog fibers. And I think I used maybe 200 yards per strip. Maybe I'll have to go. It's been a while. It's been about 2 years since I made this Afghan right here, but so maybe a mini, but you can absolutely you can have a lot of fun kind of mapping out what it is that you want to do. There's a lot of flexibility, I'll say. Oh, Wigglebutt says, no, I have an Aussie. Oh, okay, now I see. Well, anyway, I saw the wiggle button. I was like, is that a corgi thing? Anyway, okay. Fun times. All right, everybody, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for mingling with me on this Monday. It's always a pleasure and a joy to be here, part of the crochet community. Again, make sure that you're leaving those comments not only here on the live, but on the replay. I'm going to randomly pick 4 of you guys. I'm going to reply to those comments with instructions to claim. It's going to be the Artisan Afghan Crochet Challenge pattern. It's super fun, okay? So keep those comments coming. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you enjoy anything at the American Crochet Association, do me a solid, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe wherever you see the American Crochet Association. Tag a crochet friend in the comments or share this video in any place where you enjoy crochet to share the love, all right? Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you next time. Peace, love, crochet.